Alright everybody, this time I figured instead of doing something actually productive on camera, we'd take a look at this absolute specimen of a whip. This is my 1996 Honda Civic. I would call it my winter beater, except can you call it a winter beater if you use it year round? This car I use for commuting, and it's something. So why don't we get into a little bit of history? My dad bought this car years ago. I don't even remember really how many years ago it was, but he drove it for a while. And then the air conditioning went out and he sold it to my uncle. Well, he gave it to my uncle. And my uncle drove it for a time. And I believe my cousins drove it for a time. And then somehow it got brought back here, where it just sat for a while. And, I don't know. I've been driving this car maybe... Oh shoot, let's see, has it really been 5 years, 6 years? Anyhow, I got a job and I needed to commute a decent distance away, and I had my F-150, which you guys saw in briefly in my previous video. And I was afraid that F-150 would just suck down fuel. So I was complaining like, I need a new car, or a car that's a little bit more fuel efficient. And so I asked my dad, hey, this car's just sitting in the backyard doing nothing. Can I start using it to commute to work? And he was like, I guess. So that's kind of the story about how I got the car. As I mentioned, it's a 1996 Honda Civic DX hatchback. I have always thought that this car and these Honda hatchbacks are the ugliest cars. Some of the ugliest cars. I might as well just go ahead and give a disclaimer now. If there are any Honda fans, you may not want to watch this video, because I do not think these cars are cool. I do not think these cars are sick. For me, it's a beater. It's a way to get around, save on fuel, and generally not really give a darn what happens to the thing. So we'll take a little look inside. So the car has got just a hair over 311,000 miles. It's a 5-speed. Yeah, my steering wheel cover is a little worse for wear. But honestly, this interior isn't bad for 300,000 miles. The seats are, they could use a steam cleaning again, but they're not in bad shape. Floor mat, yeah, and it's worn through, and you can tell the wear on the pedals. But, it's really clean, with the exception of our headliner. Our headliner is not good, and our sunroof leaks. But hey, what can you really complain about? I should mention, this car was free $99. So if you think I'm going to turn that down, you're wrong. I mean, the car does have its issues and it has a few quirks. But again, it was free. It was a commuter. I'm not really going to complain about it too much. Let's see. Well, I guess we'll go over a little bit of the outside. So if we start up here, I did not cause this dent. This dent in this fender happened when my dad was driving the car, and the story that I got was somebody hit him in the parking lot and they left him a note. So he called them and just said, I really don't care about the car. So that's where that came from. This is what I call the clean side of the car. Unfortunately, I'm starting to see a little rust come through here. I feel like I just noticed that, but you know, I don't care. I drive this car in the winter. I do not wash it, so it's to be expected. A few years ago, I did have to put a new exhaust in, and because I really don't care for the way that straight piped Hondas sound, I just went with the regular factory exhaust. You see, we're having getting a little more rust over on this side. I was driving the car when we got that little crumple in the door, and somebody hit me in the parking garage where I work. And again, I said, I really don't care about the car. So, you know, that was what it was. Got a little wrinkle here. And if you notice the real shiny headlights, yeah, I hit a deer. Smacked the crap out of the windshield, so it's got a new windshield. And the deer came across, smashed that headlight, went across the hood, smashed a windshield. And thankfully, that's all that came of it. So car's got 2 new headlights now. Oh, our paint. Yeah, this thing's not getting a repaint. I don't know. My whole philosophy behind it is, yeah, a new car would be great, and there's a very good chance that I get a new car in the future, but there is a sense of freedom and liberation of driving something that you absolutely do not care about. And this really fits the bill. Little 13-inch alloy rims, at least that's what I assume they are. I can't say that I've seen another Honda. I think they call them sixth gen Hondas. I don't think I've seen another 6th gen Honda with this style of wheel. I mostly see them with the steel wheels. And my tires, well, I'm gonna need new tires soon, but we'll slip and slide across that bridge on bald tires when we get to it. So I reckon now, maybe we take a little look at the inside. So here we are sitting inside the Honda. And right here we can see one of the few modifications that I made to this car. When I got this car, it just had the speedometer, fuel, and temperature gauges. It did not have the tach. So I sourced a tach cluster, put it in. I was able to retain my speedometer, just swap it over to the new instrument cluster. So we have the original mileage and the original speedometer, but just with the tach cluster. And you know, it is a pretty cool upgrade, and I am glad that I put the tach in, because it's interesting to see, you know, at what RPM I'm cruising at, you know, when to shift, all that stuff. We have our Walmart special radio that came with the car. The only good thing about it is it has aux. So not that the radio would work anyway, because the antenna's busted. And the car needs to be cleaned, I know. But, you know, it's pretty clean inside, minus the headliner. I've had friends ride in the back seat, and they've told me it's pretty comfy, or at least there's decent leg room. So that's about all it is. I guess now let's get under the hood and see what we got going on under there. All right, so we'll get under here and pop the... Oh, wait. That's right. You guys are going to get to see another funny modification I made to the car. So that hood release was broken. I don't know when it got broken, but it was broken since before I had the car. So I have pre-popped the hood because it does take like 2 or 3 hands to do it. But all I did was tee into the hood latch. And if you look down under here, yeah, I've got a little pull string down under here. So we'll get this hood up. I'll try my best with one hand to get this hood up, if I can. Get our hood prop situated. All right. Here we have the gutless D16Y7. And then, of course, I can't really complain too much about the car. Again, it's pretty fuel efficient. It fires up when I need it to, and it gets me wherever I need to go with minimal issues. So that's really all there is to say about that. Fun story. I had my sister paint the raised Honda lettering with just some random acrylic paint. I don't know. I was changing the oil one day and my sister was home and I said, hey, why don't you do this for me real quick? I figure when it flakes off and goes away, I'm not going to bother with it. Let's see. This car got a timing belt somewhere around 250,000 miles. So it's good for a few thousand more. I did have to put a new radiator in it. The radiator started leaking. I've had to replace, of course, the heater core lines. But really, besides that, it has been quite a low maintenance, low cost vehicle. And I gotta say, that's probably one of the reasons why I continue driving it. It's just there's very little maintenance required beyond standard upkeep. I did a tune-up not too long ago. That's where I discovered some of the distributor cap bolts were stripped out. So if you can see down there, hey, it's not stupid if it works. Yeah. It's just an old Honda. It's tired. Believe you me, it's tired. It's slow. And well, yeah, it's just slow. But the fact is, it'll get me where I need to go. And that's really all that I need. I should mention, I really don't abuse or flog the crap out of this car. I kind of just drive it. And I'm not looking to do any modifications. I'm not looking to spend a cent more than I have to for this car to make it work. So, anyway, I think that is just about going to do it? No. You know we gotta fire it up. Let's get in here and fire it up. It will start and drive. No clutch switch. There it is. Now, one interesting note, these Civic clusters are all plug and play. So if you've got a Civic, at least I know 96 to 2000, if you've got one without a tack and you want to put a tack in it, it's really just plug and play, just sourcing the tack. And I got this one out of an automatic car, which is why we have that electrical tape over what is the Prindle indicator. Because obviously, this one's a 5-speed, so we don't have a Prindle in it. Sometimes we have a little bit of a lifter tick when it gets real cold out. But again, it's got 311,000 miles on it. I'm not really worried about it. Well, that's the 96 Civic. It's not pretty. It's not great. But there's no car payments. and there's really not a lot of maintenance involved. So I really don't know what you could ask for beyond that. The fact is, I can fire this thing up, take it wherever I want to go, and it's pretty good on gas. It only costs me about 20 bucks, maybe a little less than 20 bucks to fill it up from almost empty. And in this day and age, that in and of itself is a blessing. So anyway, thank you all for watching. I'm not sure that anybody likes content like this, but it is what it is. I feel like making it. I feel like showing it to you guys. So that's what we're going to do. So I hope to see y'all next time. And until then, stay classy.